Hey, 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 it's Dr. Dawn. Welcome to Mystical Monday. So glad you guys are all here with me tonight. Let me give you guys a minute or two to come in the room. I signed on like a minute or two earlier tonight because I want to make sure we got Dr. Dawn, everything working good for our upcoming guest. So glad you guys are all here with me tonight. Let me give you guys a minute or two to come in the room. I signed on. There we go. Woo, sorry for that. That's why I signed on early in case something like that happened. So I am excited because we have a wonderful, wonderful guest with us tonight. Her name is Indigo, the heart healer. You guys are going to meet her. We're going to talk with her. We're going to learn all about her. But until she comes on, I'm going to let a couple of you guys sign on first, and then we'll get going, and I'll tell you guys my whole spiel, a little bit about me for those who are new to this channel and are coming on with me for the first time. I shall introduce myself in 1 second. Let me make sure everything's hooked up right. Okay, hold on, I'm getting the chat together. Yeah, so we got it. All right, there we go. All right, here they come. Everybody's coming on in. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Let's let everybody come on in a couple of more minutes. For those of you who are watching the replay, you can probably fast forward over this little part because we're about a minute or two in to the show, to this episode. So let's let these people come on in. And so I'm going to do my introduction. So my name is Dr. Dawn, and I am an intuitive guide and spiritual messenger. And so what that means is I am the go-between between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. I act as the liaison, if you will, between the spiritual world and you guys. And when I do my one-on-one sessions, I act as the go-between between the spiritual realm, AKA your spirit team, and you. I'm introducing people to their spirit guides and spirit team, giving them information that their spirit team is trying to convey to them to assist them on their journey at this time. And so I'm kind of like the one in charge of the meet and greet, if you will, in my one-on-one sessions. So on Monday nights, on Mystical Mondays, I act as the go-between between spirit and the collective, which is all of you. And so I just want to make sure that you all know who I am. And if you want to know more about me, you can go to my website at www.discoveringyourinnerlight.com. Make sure you read my bio, read all about me and some of the services that I offer to see if any of them resonate with you, or if you need any of these at this time, and I would be so happy to assist you. Okay. All right. So tonight we have a special guest on Mystical Mondays. I've been doing a different format for the past 3-4 weeks. I've had guests come on to kind of help me talk about different topics that are going on as it relates to the collective. And so this week, I am going to have Indigo, the heart healer. She's going to be phenomenal. Her energy is great. Just everything about her is great. I don't even want to go into it, but she's just great. You'll see once she comes on. But I just want to let you guys know, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to get in that chat and make sure that you put it in the chat, because we will address all the comments if we can tonight for people who are coming through and who have some things that they want to ask Indigo or myself, okay, during this particular episode, okay? All right, so I'm going to bring Indigo in because she is waiting in the waiting room. Let's get her in here, and then we will get started. There she is. She's coming in.
Peace, 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 family.
Oh, you're sideways.
Am I?
Yeah, we're seeing you this way. Uh-oh.
Okay, maybe. Is that better?
There you go. There you go. Now you're upright. There you go. Look at you. Look so dynamic. I don't even have a word for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I was just giving everybody this long introduction, like kind of
Yeah.
about you. And then I was talking about your energy, and I'm like, why am I trying to describe her energy? Look at this girl come on the screen so they can feel her energy. How about that?
Yeah. Yes. I love that. Yes.
So I'm going to thank you once again. I've already thanked you, but I'm going to thank you again for coming on and chit-chatting with me this Monday night.
Yes.
You're a woman well-traveled, honey. You got a lot going on, places to go, people to see, things to do.
Yes, that's right.
That's right. So I told you when I grow up, I'm going to be like you, Indigo.
Yes. So when I grow up, I'll be like you.
Okay, look. So let me ask you something. Indigo is your real name, right? Is that your birth name?
It's one of my names. Yes, I have multiple
One of your names. Yeah, I actually looked up Indigo because everything is in a name. Everything. I know that every name is divinely assigned to us. And so I know I'm Dawn, which means a new day. Your name, let me tell you what your name means. As if you didn't know, but let me tell you what I found. It says inner wisdom and intuition, an inner awareness and a spirituality that allows for deep focus during meditation. It also means and symbolizes a love of rituals. That's all you. That's all you.
All me.
Ain't it all you? All they have to do next is say she got a nice body and she got all that, and then it'll be complete. But yeah, I thought that was so spectacular that your name was so befitting for who you are and the person that I've interacted with.
Yes, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's beautiful.
So, okay, so look, so did you not know that your name?
Well, I never really looked up what the name means particularly for like being a, but I looked up like, indigo children and things like that. So it kind of.
Okay, well, yeah, it sure fits you. It's you to the T. So, okay, so look, let's get into you. So you are a holistic health nurse. Let's talk a little bit about what that means. What's a holistic health nurse?
So a holistic health nurse basically will support the patient or the client through the healing process on a holistic level. So not just not just in the hospital where we would just deal with a symptom, but we're going deeper on an emotional, a spiritual, physical level. So not just physically like we would in a hospital, but like physically, emotionally, spiritually, dealing with the root cause of what may cause a disease or any ailments that may be coming up or feelings. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the focus is not prescriptions and what are you taking your medications and are you doing them accurately, like traditional modern medicine and nursing care, right?
That goes along with it if that's what the patient needs or the person needs at the time. I can support that as well because it's complementary. So we don't just disregard that part, but we do bring in some holistic alternatives to deal with those things. So we'll go on an emotional level to see what the root cause of it. Maybe it might be something with inner child healing, or there may be, some childhood or parent trauma there. And then as far as on a nutritional level, we attack it on, what are you eating? What are you putting into your body? A lot of times it is brought up in the mainstream traditional medicine of talk about what you eat, especially when it's like you talk about diabetes or high blood pressure and things like that. But usually people get medications in order for it to be maintained versus getting to the root of it and like really cutting out what the problem, what is causing the illness or the ailment in the body.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So but this isn't how you started out in nursing. This is where you are now. You started
Right.
out in traditional kind of medicine. When did you make the switch, or what made you move on over into the holistic health?
Well, the whole time that I was a nurse, I practiced holistic health on my own, and I didn't know that there was a lane for this in nursing. I did learn about alternative medicine, but I didn't really know that nurses can be it. And then once during the pandemic, I lost my job as a travel nurse, and that was the catalyst for me to dive fully deep into offering these services and helping my patients on a bigger, deeper level. I worked on a oncology unit at the time, and I would see that, the types of food that they were eating and the things that they were doing and the way that they were speaking, even just the self-talk was just so off. And I would spend hours in the patient's room, like hours, hours, hours. Like I really worked hard. It was so draining on me. And when I lost that job, it was just like first of all, they fired me for like a stupid reason. And being a contractor, it's not really much you can do.
Yeah,
You just kind of, as a travel nurse. So I just saw that as, okay, this is pushing me out of that industry. And
that's
I'm
it.
already so drained from, being empathetic and pouring into my patients. It just made sense for me to just kind of take this and move on in a whole route for not just people who have dis-ease or ailments, but for anyone who wants to adapt more of a holistic lifestyle.
Yeah. I know that we're going to be moving in that direction after a while, to a more holistic way of treating and working with patients, because everybody's starting to become aware now that modern medicine is doing more harm than it is good. And so I wonder, you being a holistic health nurse, do you have to work under a holistic MD, or can you work solo to see, like, what's the difference you see what I'm saying, in your practices? Do you have to line up with MD that's the same as you, you know?
So that would be only if I wanted to open like my own like clinic or
Oh,
something.
okay,
Uh,
okay.
but doing it as a like home health and coaching, I don't have to work directly under. I have my own business doing this.
Okay, so that's exactly what I was getting to right there. So like, if people wanted to seek alternative methods or assistive methods, I guess, to what they're already doing, you could be someone that they could reach out to and say, hey, this is what I'm taking, this is what I'm diagnosed with, it ain't working. Like, do you have some options? Okay,
Absolutely.
that's
Mhm.
what I was looking for. Because I know I myself have looked for holistic practitioners, but I'm doing it the regular way, like looking in the insurance book to see, okay, which, are there holistic practitioners that the insurance will cover? And it's sometimes difficult to go about it that way.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes. It definitely difficult, but I also, so a part of it, the insurance doesn't cover holistic health nurses.
that's what I
If you just
thought.
could go get a holistic health nurse. But for example, I can incorporate holistic health nursing in my regular practices. So even if I was to go back at the bedside, I can incorporate that with aromatherapy and different things, touch therapy, Reiki, things like that into the practice. So as far as one of my business being home health, I'm able to provide that holistic approach in that way in the home space, in the home health space.
Got it. Now that I get that. That makes a lot of sense. And so, since you mentioned some of the modalities, aromatherapy, Reiki, let's talk a little bit about what you're trying to accomplish and what you do versus modern medicine. You're dealing with our spirit body, not,
Yes.
our spirit body and the effects that it has on our physical body. And
Yes.
so, when we talk about our spirit body, we got to talk about the chakras, right?
Yes. We have
Yeah,
to
we got
talk
to
about
get
the
into
chakras.
it. We got to get into these
Yes.
darn chakras. So for a novice, somebody who's just awakening to this whole chakra thing, how would you describe the chakra system in our spirit body?
So the chakra system is just our energetic energetic centers in our body. And we have more than 7 chakras, but we only have 7 in our bodies, right?
Good.
Which
Okay, I got it.
and it moves up into our crown chakra. And so there's 7 within our body, but there's way more chakras, and each one is defined by certain characteristics and traits, emotions, and colors. And colors just help us to connect to the chakra. For example, like our root chakra, I know we'll go into it a little deeper, but just a little overview. But our root chakra is that grounding energy. So that's our security. That's for our basic needs in life. So when this is out of balance, we are we feel like we're not safe and secure in where we are. And a lot of times it may be money, like we fear, or we have that lack mentality, or we can be very inaligned. So another thing about the chakras is that it's an alignment. So it can kind of get out of alignment and then come back into balance. So some of us are overactive in that chakra, and then some of us may be underactive in the chakra. All the chakras connected. So if one is off, it may affect the others.
And so it's coincidentally in the root chakra, that's where a lot of our anxiety is centered, right? When we're feeling all, like we're like,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So, okay, so look, so I know in terms of chakras, we don't want to say, put them in order of importance, but my outlook on this becomes different the more I kind of move into this awareness and things. I used to think, okay, the root chakra is the most important because if you ain't grounded, it ain't gonna be good. Then I'm like, no, the heart chakra, that's the one, because if the heart chakra isn't activated, you can't open yourself up to be, so like, do you feel, is there, in your opinion, is there one chakra that is more, the one we need to focus on more so than the other?
No, honestly, we have to focus on all the chakras, and just because we get the chakras aligned one time doesn't mean that that's it. We still the constant working process of keeping them aligned, keeping them in balance, because things come up, our everyday, day-to-day life, things happen, and these things may cause for us to get a little bit out of balance, but we must come back to balance. And that's just a constant practice of, keeping everything in line. But I wouldn't say that I think that anyone is more important than the other. I call myself Indigo the Heart Healer. I was named Indigo the Heart Healer, and I think of the heart as the center of it all, because, it's the center of all of them. If we have 7 and the heart is right in the middle, you can't get past the lower 3 without, connecting to the heart. You can't get past the heart to go up to the higher 3, but they have to be in alignment in order for them to work together, because it all works together.
Absolutely. So when we look at the 7 energetic energies of the chakras, when it comes to your practice and what you do, you probably, I'm sure, are able to identify where the blockages are within people based on the diagnosis sometimes, right? Can you maybe tell where energetically they're off based on their medical diagnosis?
Yeah, definitely. And that just comes with like some little questions, and we'll do like an assessment, of course. But a lot of times when like, say, for example, with diabetes, we're craving that sugar. We crave that sugar, right? We crave, we like sweet, and that can be associated with the heart chakra, where we're like longing for love, or we're looking for love. We're looking for that, sweetness, something to comfort us, like feel.
See, that's what I mean. Just that association of the physical manifestation in relation to spiritually, what it's saying about us. I didn't need you to say that about the sugar though, because well, we didn't need to say that, but that's good. That's eye-opening for me. And so look, so when you go through your assessment and you're identifying, kind of things or that could possibly be causing the issues that the person is having, your treatment, or I don't want to call it treatment, but your plan of action for the people that you work with can consist of different modes, right? I think you mentioned aromatherapy, Reiki. Is what you provide specific to a specific type of thing, or is it just you use aromatherapy for kind of like everything, like it'll pretty much work in all situations? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So aromatherapy, we would use that in like maybe all of the situations, depending on the person. But we would use different oils. So there's different oils that help with different things. So, I have like different blends that I create. This is one of my blends that I create for different things. So it all depends on what that person may need at the time. So sometimes it may be you need to go back and do a little inner child healing, and we can, like Lang Lang is a great oil for that, for inner child. So I would add that with other oils to help through that process, along with things like talk therapy and use some Reiki and different things. Juice therapy, of course. Nutrition is huge. That's really number one that we really talk about, is what you're putting in your body.
Yeah, I figured that. And because I know when you talk about being spiritual, everybody goes, okay, you're vegan, right? You're vegetarian. You're right. I'm like, I'm working on it. I'm like, I'm veganish, like I'm vegetarianish, to where I recognize now, I now have an awareness for the heaviness and the low vibrational feeling that it gives me. I'm very well aware of that. And so I know that when I'm working with my clients, I have pulled back drastically just because of that feeling. But it's still that little piece of me sometimes that goes, maybe just the piece. And I have to tell myself, don't you comment, don't you say nothing about this. But I tell myself sometimes, okay, you're working towards it. You're further along now than you were a year ago, 2 years ago. Like you're moving towards it. Now, I don't know how your vegetarian journey went, or did you just come into it and how did it work for you?
Oh, absolutely. It was a transitional period for me as well. Like when I was 20 years old, I stopped eating chicken. I watched a documentary on the slaughterhouses. So a woman came I worked at Piccadilly's as a waitress.
Oh,
and yeah.
Yeah,
and
of all places.
She got like a veggie plate, and I was like, oh, you're only eating vegetables? And she's like, yeah, I don't eat chicken, and and she told me about the slaughterhouse. She recommended a documentary that I watched. I don't remember I think What in Health or something like that. And I watched it, and I immediately stopped eating chicken. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. After watching that, I just couldn't.
Yeah,
so
it's
that
nasty,
was that.
Right? That's a nasty bird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Nasty. And then all of the things that's injected into it and things, I literally could not have done it. But then I ate fish. For a long time. I just gave it up like last year.
Oh,
so yeah.
Okay, so I'm not too far behind, because that's where I am. I'll do fish, but I can't chicken. It gives me headaches. I can't even do that. But so I'm doing good then with my fish.
Yeah, as long as like you're balancing it, you know what I mean? And you're having your greens, you're having your vegetables, you're getting your fruit in. I didn't eat fish every day. It was something that I ate every now and then kind of thing, so long as you're balanced and you're making sure that you're getting in your greens, you're getting your juices and your smoothies, and you're getting in your vital nutrients, then you should be fine. Absolutely. There's been a lot of things on in the ocean. So that's why I personally was like, I can't the fish anymore because I would feel the difference. And I see, like, you know, in the media, so many
Yeah.
things going in of the ocean. So I'm like, okay, I had to be cleaner. So I mostly eat raw fruits and vegetables now. And I do cook fruits and vegetables sometimes.
Okay, you a real one, girl. I'm just now taking Tabitha Brown's book, doing her recipes, because you know what? She's learned how to master the art of tricking us into thinking we're eating regular food and it tastes kind of like it, but it's not. So I gotta graduate to where you are with the raw stuff. I gotta.
So delicious.
Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind, Indigo. I got a message for you from the chat. So
Yes.
somebody says, what about Taraja says, what about fibromyalgia condition? What does this indicate about the spirit body? Have you worked with clients with fibromyalgia? Because I believe that's in the joints, right? Like it's
Right.
inflammation.
Right. I haven't worked with many clients with that. I would have to do some research. That's why everything is a case by case basis. But I know that like for the joints, we do recommend berries. So all kind of berries, raspberries. The more berries you can get in, the better. So that's what I would recommend for that without having to go into further detail of like the different herbs and things like that.
Okay, so Taraja, she's giving you some remedies to help maybe with the pain, some suggestions. I'm going to tell you because you're asking, what does this indicate about the spirit body? And so usually when there's some inflammation in the joints, now you got to realize when you get down to the joints, honey, this is some deep rooted stuff that you've been carrying and holding and pushing down. And it's kind of like twisting and turning and changing forms over the years. And it's to the point now where it has nowhere to go. So it's like literally infiltrating your joints. So look, we got to do a checklist. We got to go back and we got to kind of see, we got to do roll call and kind of see what's happening in your life at this moment that is causing this disruption all the way down to your joints. And because it ain't new, this is nothing new, Taraja. This is an ongoing kind of pattern for you. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So this, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Okay. So look, so let's get into, so we talked about the chakras. We talked a little bit about, what you do in relation to kind of identifying energetically, kind of what's what, but look, the chakra system and meditation, like chakra cleansing and balancing and meditation. Would you say they go hand in hand? Are they separate? Should you do both? Like, what are those combinations?
So to align the chakras, we have a lot of different modalities that we can do. Meditation is just one of them. So meditation doesn't necessarily go with, you can do meditation without doing the chakras, but meditation can be used to align the chakra.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's plenty of things that you can do, like for example, the root chakra. Just going out into nature and taking a walk out, like putting your feet in the grass, that is going to balance that chakra. So it's not necessarily only meditation, but there's different things that we can do in order to align it. So if you wanted to do like a meditation to align that chakra, you can do a meditation where you're envisioning a red light right there at the base of your spine and just like focusing on this light there to help to bring to balance. And then whatever emotions and feelings may come up as you're focusing in this area, that is what we need to work through and relieve, you know, and there's things that you can do as well as I picked this one today, which is a mudra. This is the fearless mudra. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
And this one is a root chakra mudra where you just literally hold your hand up like this as you're meditating. And this would help to bring in courage and self-assurance. So this one is good. Yeah, and I recommend this. This is one that came out for the live today. And then I also have this one, which is for the third eye, which is the Sita Mudra. And this one's for wisdom and consciousness. So little mudras that we can do also help. There's many. I have this, I pulled that from this deck if anyone wants to know what I'm using. This is the mudra, what the chakra.
Can you tell the people who don't know what mudra means? What is mudra in relation to that?
Mudra is just a hand movement,
Movement. Okay.
yes, so the hand gestures that helps us to connect to different energies in our bodies. So each finger carries energy. So like just even, you see most people do this one when they meditate. They just
All the
touch.
time, just like this. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. So this one is great to help us to align, and just this one is good for the throat chakra. Sorry. And this one is good for communication and clarity. So that's why we do this a lot, because we get clarity from just like touching the thumb and the fingers in the pointer finger together. And when we keep our hands up, the energy is coming in, so we're receiving. And when we put our hands down, that's for grounding. So you can do the same mudra either up or down.
Never seen it down, always seen it up. Oh, so that's good to know. Good to know. Let's see in the chat, Alyssa, fibromyalgia can be solar plexus and root chakra tension. Absolutely. I don't think that's what Taraja was asking, Alyssa. I think she was asking, like, what is the cause? What would cause you? We know that's where the blockages are, but like what I think she meant, what kind of circumstances or situations. But if not, thank you for clarifying that energetically where it's located. We appreciate that. So thank you for your input. Okay, so good. Yeah, I didn't know it. I never knew it could go down. It's always up. And look, I don't do none of that. Tell the people, I want you to share this, because let me tell you what my meditation is like. I tried the traditional way. You sit with your legs crossed, don't work for me. I can't do that. I got to sit with my back against the wall on a pillow. Like, I got to be in my comfort zone. Like,
absolutely.
Please tell people you don't have to sit in lotus pose all the time. Like,
I try to tell people this all the time because it looks so uncomfortable for some people. And I'm like, okay, please just get comfortable, because it's important that you're comfortable, you have your spine erect, and you're able to fully go through it without like, oh my gosh, my back hurting. This is, you know what I mean? Like, it's important. Comfortable. Sometimes I just lay in my bed, like in Shavasana, like just straight, like laid out on my back with my palms facing up. And that's what I do for my meditation. So you don't necessarily have to stand up. Meditation can look like walking. You can go for a walk and just, have like, moments of mindfulness on this walk, just paying attention to the trees and the birds and the things that's going on around you, and not making your head kind of just being in our head, like how, it's to stop the mind for a second. That's what really meditation is about. Stopping your mind from thinking and constantly trying to control, and allowing yourself to just be. And that may look like, just sitting on a chair. Some people can sit on a chair with their feet just on the floor and their spine is erect. So there's many different ways that we can meditate, for sure. I don't want anyone to think that you have to sit in lotus position, especially if it's uncomfortable.
Thank you for sharing that. That's what we needed to hear. And so look, so when we talk about meditation, the purpose of it, because, a lot of people are always saying, but I can't quiet my mind, it keeps going. And I've saw some kind of spiritual teachers and people who practice meditation say, okay, then let your mind go, let it make noise. Okay, let it just do what it's going to do, as long as you're in a place of awareness and you're, I guess, focusing, I guess is the word for it. Because it's normal, right, to hear thoughts.
Yeah. Absolutely, because a lot of the insight will come during meditation once you get into that aligned space. So sometimes, our minds will constantly be running, and ideas and things may come to us during the meditation, and that's okay. But then we'll bring it back to our breath, focus back to our breath. So not forcing it to stop the mind, but just allowing yourself to not be judgmental to the thoughts that are coming, but just allow them, see them for what they are. They're just thoughts coming in right now, and then come back to the breath, return back to the breath.
Yeah. Now, do you practice meditate? Do you meditate every day, or do you like, or just when needed? How does that work for you? I'll share mine after
No,
you. I'm going after you.
I meditate every day. I like I recommended on my channel, the Insight Timer. I use that app either if I'm just doing my own meditation or I'm using one of the guided meditations. And the reason why I like it is because every day that I meditate, it's like it fills the circle in for the day. So it makes me feel accomplished as well. Like, oh, I did my meditation. It's the check off. You know what I mean? So I like that for me, to see that, okay, Monday is filled in, Tuesday is filled in. You know what I mean? And
What's the name of that again? Can you tell us the name of it?
Insight Timer.
Insight Timer. Okay.
Yes, it's a really amazing app. It's lots of guided meditation courses, a whole lot of different things. Music, you know, if you need music to go to sleep, and frequency sounds. And then there's an option for you to just use the timer and, like, you know, just the regular whatever type of sound that you like. They have different options, and you can just set your timer for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long you meditate, and then you can just go into your zone with that as well. So yeah, I really like a lot. That's my favorite app. I've tried numerous meditation apps, but that one still remains my favorite for years now. I've probably been using that for like 5-6 years now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I may look into that. That's a more structured approach, which is good. You know, I sometimes find myself, and this is, at first I thought it was just me being lazy, but it's not, because in the wee hours of the morning, it's like clockwork now. It's like about maybe 4:30. I'm wide awake, my eyes open, and I'm just laying there. Then I'm getting all this information, and I'm just like in a thought, and I'm just like asking questions, and then I'm listening for responses. Same time, 4:30, laying in the bed. And so
Yeah.
I didn't used to count that. I used to be like, oh, that's not it. I'm just half awake, half asleep. Not, but it counts. If you're going within, right, and you're getting information, you know, it could happen at any time.
At any time. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because not only do I have to sit, like, you know, that's just for me. I like to sit in time to myself, and this is how I honor myself. It's a part of my self-love practice, to not get up and go straight to doing something, but
Yeah.
take that, go within. And honestly, I'm meditating throughout the whole day, you know, at different times of days, especially when I'm cooking. I love to cook. I put my music on, I'm zoned out, I'm putting the love, and it's just it's like a mindless but mindful act that I'm doing when I'm cooking. I'm sorry if that's loud.
That's okay. You brought up something which I was getting ready to move towards, and you opened the door for me, your self-love practice. Because if you guys go on her YouTube page, when I tell you she's the epitome of self-love, honey, you'll go through her page and you'll want to walk around the house naked and just be twirling around and playing in the water, because you can just feel the energy of how comfortable, confident, and how like just how certain she is within who she is. And I just looked at your page and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so free. Like, it's just literally, you just walk around like there's not a care in the world. And like, the world is good. The sun is shining, you know what? And if you ever needed a pick me up, if you ever needed to feel or change your energy, just go look at her page and just click on any video. You click on any one. But I also went on her Instagram. Her Instagram is good too, you guys. I don't know where you were. She was running up the steps, and you know, she's just like the wind.
Yeah.
Where were you?
Barcelona. That was
Barcelona.
Spain.
See, y'all, look, I told you she wasn't here in the United States. She get all over. She's just like, just free in the wind, just going. And you can just feel all of that energy. Have you always been that way, or do you feel like you kind of elevated to that place of being, you know?
I've definitely elevated more, but I've always been like a nature baby. I love, love, love nature. And I just love being free. But I do definitely feel like I've evolved to that place because in the past, I didn't feel completely comfortable with just showing up and being my true and authentic self. And I think that a lot of us deal with those things where we're thinking about what other people may think and how they may feel about us just being us and doing the things that bring us joy. And
Yeah.
I've completely moved out of that now. I'm like completely into being my authentic true self. And that's something that I really strive to achieve for a very long time now. And I've been on my journey since I've always considered myself spiritual, but when I turned 24 years old, it really was a pivotal time for me. And I went deeper and deeper in with being my true and authentic self because I felt like I couldn't speak up. I was in a relationship and I just felt like I couldn't speak up and I couldn't be my true self. And ever since then I said I don't want to ever feel that way. I don't want to allow myself to feel that way again. And it's
Yeah.
not about anybody else. They just helped me to realize that I have to honor who I am, where I am, and not care about what other people think because it really doesn't matter.
And look, you're not the only one who stresses this, but there's a point to this because the physical represents the spiritual. Getting naked, physically naked, is freeing. Like it does something, not that I know y'all, so everybody who watching, I haven't done this now. But again, y'all go to her channel. She's not on there naked or nothing. She almost naked on some of them. But like just getting naked is freeing for not just the external, but your spirit as well, right? It opens up the spirit. How did that, I mean, because you got a whole, I wrote it down. Not the 28-day self-love thing that you do. You do the sacred sensual dance class, which she told me it ain't in the nude. You ain't dancing in naked. You probably could though. You probably let you.
Yes, I would.
But I know, see, you would. But it's like movement. You start with like you do movement to move energy, right?
Yes. So the sacred sensual class. So I've always been big on movement, and this is how I move energy out of my body: dancing, moving energy out. I've loved to dance from I was a child, and just movement. When I realized that we store so much energy, especially in our hips as women and in our lower chakras, and I'm Jamaican, so the wine is, it has been a part of my life for like my whole life, basically. So I really enjoy movement. And then when I realized that I was moving, my movement was very intentional, and I was actually moving energy out of my body, that stagnant energy that stores in our bodies, in our cells, I just fell in love and I wanted to teach. I wanted to share this. So I've literally been dancing my whole life, and I started teaching in Costa Rica last year. It just like after, I don't know, one of my videos you may see on my Instagram page, I went to an event and I was just dancing, and people always look to me for two things. Either it's my sensuality and the divine feminine that runs through me, and my move my body and my spine in that way, or my heart, right? So it's the two areas, the sacral and the heart chakra. So I realized that a lot of women are kind of out of alignment in the sacral area, especially when it comes down to being comfortable being naked, or being comfortable, dressing, or being sensual and moving our bodies in a certain way. So I wanted to create this class to empower women to be able to move energy out, one, but be able to connect to our divine feminine energy within us and be able to awaken that kundalini at the base of our spine. It's so much benefits to just moving and not just going to lift weights, but actually
Right.
move energy out with movement, like ecstatic movement, just freely moving how our body is, wants
Now
to
look
be.
at her. Look at her. See, she's showing off. Look, that's goddess energy. You can tell souls, honey, that have incarnated and have past lives as goddesses, baby. That's her. That's her all the way. You just feel it. If I didn't stop you, she would have put some kind of energetic hold on all of us, honey. Everybody would have felt it because you could
Yes,
feel it radiating. You could just see it coming.
yes.
Let me just say this. I don't know how these classes are offered. How are these classes offered now? Are they online or what do you do? How do you do them?
Virtually, on Zoom. And I'm going to be starting it in a couple of weeks after the 14th. So if you pay attention to my page, you'll find out all the information. I'll be releasing it too soon. It'll be after the retrograde, after Mercury retrograde. It's on Zoom. It's donation based. It's a minimum of $5 and up. And this is really so that anywhere you are, you can join the class, and I didn't want to put like a set price on it and then it would be, out of reach for some women. I just really want women to show up. And the only reason why I don't offer it free is because people don't really value your time when you do things free
I
sometimes.
know. You don't have to
And
tell me. I've experienced
yeah,
that. I get it.
yes. So honestly, I really just want all the women to just show up and like, let's get moving, let's move our bodies, let's connect to our feminine energy. So I just made it a donation base at $5 minimum.
I'm gonna come do it, but I'm gonna have my screen off. You ain't gonna see me moving.
Oh,
I'm gonna be moving with the screen off because you ain't gonna laugh at me, honey. You will not laugh at me.
make sure you doing the work.
Okay, look, now I don't know if I should bring this up, but maybe we'll just tease it a little bit. You're also thinking about, or you're coordinating a retreat, right? That you are putting together for 2024. Tell us about that because I'm here for a retreat. I've been looking for it. I want to do it. I need to, tell us about it.
Yes, so the retreat is just really an experience to be able to really incorporate the holistic lifestyle that it's hard to heal in the same environment that you were hurt. So it's important that we pull people from their space and their regular day to day to allow them to be able to kind of just really come within to themselves. And I assist this through, I assist you coming to yourself through nutrition. So we'll have lots of coconut water, lots of nice raw foods, juices, things like that. And then also the water. The ocean is so cleansing. It's literally a huge spiritual bath if you really want to be intentional, but it's a place where we can go and purify and release energy, and water holds lots of energy. So if we just speak to the water will hold that. So it's a great place for us to go to just purify our souls, purify our minds, and just release and to just relax. Jamaica is a beautiful place to like really relax. And so many of us are in fight or flight. We constantly go in this society or this world that we live in, especially in the United States. So it's important that we can connect to our parasympathetic nervous system and relax. Like that's huge. A lot of people don't even know what it feels like to relax. And it may be a bit uncomfortable, but I'm putting this retreat together to help us get into that mode of just rest and restoration, and also being catered to. Like some people can't, like they don't know how to not do so.
Yeah, I get it.
In that we are able to cater to each other and create this sisterhood, and that's really my passion, to be able to allow you to just calm down and allow you to get in the receiving mode for a change instead of always doing.
And we don't have to get naked, right? We don't, I told you, I give you a shoulder. I give you a little shoulder. But girl, that might be in it, huh?
It's all up to you. If you want
Oh Lord, because she gonna be running around naked, y'all. We're gonna be looking at her like, okay, we're gonna let live through her probably. But you guys get on her page, her YouTube page, and follow her, or Instagram. I'm sure she'll put it on both. Indigo the Heart Healer. And we'll stay tuned, and we'll be looking out for that. Now, you guys, she has agreed. Any questions, you guys? First, because she has agreed to do a little mini meditation for us. Yay, a little mini meditation to get us energetically aligned and together before we get up off of here tonight. So we're going to do that. And you guys, the chat is always on a delay, so I'll let them if they got something. So whenever you would like, we are more than ready to participate.
Awesome. So I have this meditation that came to me at the river a few months ago, and I just really love it because it's an inner child quantum leaping meditation, and just it's really beautiful to talk to our inner child, and it's important that we reparent ourselves. Some of us had really good childhoods, but a lot of us had childhood traumas that we're carrying in our adulthood, and it's important that we go back and we reparent, and we address those things that we may have felt when we were children, to be able to release it and be in full alignment in our current stage of life right now. Okay. So I'm gonna just ask you to settle into your body and get comfortable. We'll start off with a few deep breaths in, breathe in, and breathe out. Deep breath in your nose. And this time we're going to do a deep exhale with a sigh. One more time. And deep exhale. Okay. Place your hands on your lap with your palms facing up to receive. Connect the thumb and the pointer fingers together. Bring your attention to your mind's eye, right between your eyebrows, your third eye area. See yourself at a train station. This is the train of infinite destinations. The train arrives and you get on. You see many stops, but when the door opens, you see one side that is light and one side that is dark. This is the light and dark side of every situation, every opportunity, every thought. You decide that you're going to take the stop at Goddess Land. The train pulls, stops, and you take the exit to the light side. When you walk out, you see this beautiful land with everything gold. You are clothed by the people of the land in beautiful golden garments and a beautiful, nice goddess dress. You see a stand with a crown. It's so shiny and glistening. You feel so attracted to it. You grab the crown and place it on your head. You instantly feel a golden light illuminate from your crown throughout your body, and it radiates outward around your auric field. Feel into this goddess, God energy. You then notice a big golden door appear. You're curious to know what is behind this door. You walk to it, you open it, and in this room, you see everything beautiful, just like you imagined your room was when you were a little girl. It's pink, you have all the toys, you have everything that you've ever wanted. You then notice a little girl sitting on the bed crying. You walk over to her, and when you get close enough, you realize this little girl is you. You look her in her eyes and you tell her, I love you. I'm here for you. You will be all right. The pain and sorrows will only heal when we release judgment and just allow ourselves to have compassion and grace for where we were. You give yourself a hug and you see that she's no longer crying and that she's loving that feeling that you've brought here and all the beauty you possess. You give her a big hug and kiss and proceed through the door. Remember this moment. You have access to this moment whenever you need. You have all you need to help your inner child heal. You then go back to the golden land through the door. You take the infinite train back to your home self. Return to your body. Feel into you right now. You still have this radiant golden light within you. Now you can shine this light with others that need some of your loving light. Begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Begin to move your toes, wiggle your toes and your fingers, slowly returning your attention to your breath. Lift your hands up over your head to touch and bring it down to your heart.
Oh my gosh. So look, that inner child thing is real, y'all, because I'm telling you, I ain't gonna tell y'all what I had a vision about. I'm gonna start crying on this live. But just the vision of seeing I went back to my 7-year-old self, who had parents who were always fighting and arguing. And I was always in a state of anxiety, wondering when the next fight was going to break out. And the words that you said, like to go back and to hug her,
Yes.
tell her it's okay. It's all right. That is, you guys, that's energy movement at its finest, because I felt everything within me move. My body was still, but I felt the energy. I felt the rocking movement, I felt it. I just felt it. So, and let's, for everybody who's watching, this was a guided meditation. Right. Okay, so you guys know the difference between guided and I guess listening to like frequency music and kind of trying to get yourself there. This was a very good guided meditation, actually. And I love how you said you can go back to this. You can go back to this any place, anytime you need to repress, things that you may need, that come up, that need to be dealt with at any point that it happened in your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That was beautiful. I thank you, Indigo. I appreciate that. I kept telling myself, don't cry. They're going to see it. Don't cry. But it was coming. I was right here. It was right there.
You're going to play through that again.
I am, because I'm thinking about it now.
Yes.
I'm thinking about exact situations where my parents were fighting, and it's just, yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it in the chat. Any feedback on that from you guys in the chat? I know, and I wanted to say this too, because before we got into that, I had some males in the chat, and I'm like, some people left. I'm like, oh, it's probably the men. The men are probably like, this is for women, like this is a woman thing. And my apologies, but a lot of what you do is focus. What you do is focus towards women, right?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have men that is really drawn to my page, and they reach out to me as well. But I usually do target the women, but the men do come along and they kind of just make it you know, work for them. But during the meditation, I thought about it and like, oh my gosh, I don't know if there are any men here. Yeah, that's why I kind of said like God, goddess, but then I went to little girl. So yeah, it can definitely be done for anyone. But I do have to be mindful of that to make it like gender neutral for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I clarified that, because a lot of her services sometimes are geared towards, but you do like, you'll do one-on-ones and stuff
Absolutely.
with everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we talked about the retreat. We talked about the sacred sensual dance class. I didn't talk about the 28-day self-love. Oh wait, I got a comment. Let me get this comment real quick. V says, hugging my younger self makes me wonder if that's why I love hugs now.
Aww.
Maybe so. Okay, tell us about the 28-day self-love class.
Yes, so I just did the challenge in April. We just did it from April 1st to April 28th, and it was amazing because it's not just self-love, but it's also shadow work. A lot of it is mirror work, as far as the modality we use for shadow work and journaling. So there comes with a guided gratitude journal. It comes with a corresponding 28-day fill in the blank kind of journal as well. And then we have the platform where each day is a different activity to help us to connect to self-love. And the purpose of this is it used to take 21 days to create a habit. Now there's new studies and things like that, but I wanted it to be, we accomplished the 21 days to start a habit. Let's go one more week together to support each other. And then you're able to incorporate self-love in your everyday practice. And the people who done the challenge have seen how easy it can be to actually have a self-love practice in your busy life with everything else going on too.
Yeah.
So that was really to help everyone to connect to self-love, not just when self-care Sunday or things like that, but it can be done every single day in your everyday practice, from brushing your teeth to right before you go to bed. You know what I mean? Your skincare routine. As you're doing your skincare, you can be saying these affirmations in the mirror and doing mirror work and things like that. So also little challenges, that's like one of them that stuck out was asking somebody for help. And that was really profound for some people, because a lot of us don't know how to ask for help, or we try to do everything on our own. And it's very important that we connect to our community, we ask for help, and we are able to get in that receiving mode of receiving help when we need it.
Yeah, for sure. This has been I just love all of this foundational information that you've given us as it relates to the chakras and the chakra system, because very often people don't connect how this chakra system, it's the engine for everything that we're trying to do. Everybody's into, I want to raise my frequency, I want to increase my vibration, I want to but you can't get to that until you get to this, because
Yes.
it's the catalyst for that. So you got to hit this really, really good. And I thank you for giving us the necessary kind of tools, that we'll need to kind of navigate this this better as we all move through ascension and we're all increasing our awareness and evolution. So it's been an hour, has it? It's almost been an hour. It went by quick, didn't it?
It did. I do want to mention that I go into further details about the chakras on my YouTube page. Each one is separated into its own video so that you can really get like the full sense of it. I know this was really quick. So if anyone go into it a little further, I do have it on my channel.
I forgot to mention that, and she's absolutely correct, because I've looked at some of them, and so some of you guys are asking, well, how do I clear my solar plexus chakra? How do I clear my heart chakra? She has a video dedicated towards each chakra and how to do that, and she incorporates a lot of things like movement and then foods. I think she has affirmations, she has crystals, like it's all the stuff that you would need to clear that particular chakra. So definitely check that out, you guys. I'm going to, when we're done tonight, I'm going to put her information, I'm going to pin her information in the comment section so you guys can follow her and check out all her wonderful stuff. I'm going to keep in touch with her now. I feel like I have a new friend in my soul tribe now. I'm excited that we connected.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Good.
Yes, I'm so
chat. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm trying to get this chat one last chance. If you guys have any questions for Miss Indigo, the heart healer, before we let her go, and do whatever it is you're doing, girl, because you're always doing something. So somebody asked about the meaning of prana.
Prana is just, from my understanding, of course, I mean, you can do your own research a little further, but it's that the breath work, and our breath is, especially as being a nurse, we're learned airway, breathing, circulation, ABCs. It starts like that's what gives us life. The breath is life, really. So the prana is just to harness the breath, and so, for example, when you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling anxious, a lot of times your heart rate is speeding up, and you're breathing up. So when we connect to our prana, we're slowing that down and connecting to the breath to bring us back to balance, to ground us and bring us down, bring calmness into the body. So it's just connecting to that breath and the life force energy within us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay. Well, Ms. Indigo, there are no more questions. We thank you again. For those of you who are interested in possibly participating in live spiritual coaching sessions, make sure you indicate it in the comment section. I will tell you how to get in touch with me so we can set that up, because we're going to be doing that on one of these episodes, upcoming episodes. So do let me know if you're interested in doing that. Oh, somebody put in the comments that they have a male friend, family friend, who experienced childhood trauma, he definitely thinks would benefit from this meditation that you did. Oh. So that's good. Tell them to watch the replay, Robin. Tell them to watch the replay. V says thank you. And so, okay, you guys, we love her. We hope she'll come back. We're going to be looking out for the retreat.
I loved it. This is so
Ladies,
much fun.
We going, right? We going. We're going. We're headed there. So let's get it going, and we'll be ready.
Yes.
Okay. Until next week, you guys. Remember to come back next week at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. All right. So I'll see everybody. Good night.